Hey, Randy Joe here, and welcome back to the channel where today we're going to be checking out the brand new Tropical Storm album, Fairyland Codex. And before we get started today, I just want to say if you want to see the full unedited reaction of Fairyland Codex, as well as any other album I've covered this year, go ahead and check out the description down below. For $5 a month in my Patreon, you will get all my videos unedited for just $5. Now, like I said, this is a brand new record, just came out today, and I thought I would check it out as soon as possible, given the fact that I'm a fan of what this band has done in the past, specifically their album Braindrops from 2019. A really great, jammy, noisy kind of rock record that definitely leans more into the experimental side, but has some really great hooks and some great kind of catchiness to it. Tropical Storm have always been a very unique band. They don't shy away from experimentation, and Fairyland Codex seems to be kind of a continuation of what they have done in the past. I'm just kind of looking forward to that kind of abrasive, noisy sound. So without further ado, with 10 tracks and 50 minutes to go, let's kick it off with the first track here, Uruku Unji's Syndrome. How do you pronounce that one? I'm not sure, but with all due respect, I tried my best. Let's get into it. Here we go. First track. Yeah, see what I mean? Quite noisy right off the bat. Did not even waste time. We're 5 seconds in, and it's noisy. Love the sort of twanginess in their guitars. Very acid-drenched sound to them. Love Gareth Lydiard's, I believe that's how you pronounce his last name. Love his voice. It's very kind of like rough, almost like drunken in tone. And if you are unfamiliar with this band, you might know Gareth from his other band, The Drones, who have been around since the 2000s. But that very kind of edgy Australian, Aussie sound coming through. Very sluggish in its sound. Love the drumming too. Very like heavy, kind of repetitive drumming. Very heavy sound to kick things off here. Very garage rock, that spiraling, kind of reverby, just metallic sound of those guitars, especially quite rough around the edges, but sounds fantastic. Also, the female vocalist of this band, always fantastic. They got a nice sort of like banshee-like kind of scream and howl to the sound. What a massive wall of sound here. Wow, what a track. What a heavy, explosive intro. That back half especially. What a cacophony of sound that was. Super garage heavy, super experimental in the sense that it kind of just throws a wall of sound at you. Definitely leans a little bit into noise rock territory, but not, industrial noise in tone. More garage rock noise. But let's go into Goon Show, which was the first single off this LP. Like that thudding sound. Very tired kind of vocals. It's the golden age of assholes and the triumph of disgrace. I love that. Golden age of assholes and the triumph of disgrace. Can certainly be applied to a lot of things nowadays. I like the sort of kind of melancholy nature of this one.
The party's always right, and I was not planning on going out tonight. But I'll grab and fly.
Yeah. What a kind of soulful delivery they bring in. Very pretty against this rough sound. Oh. Oh. That dial back. Before we get really heavy here. Getting really kind of droney in this aspect here. Before we cut off. And right back into it. Love the steady nature of this track, just that gradual sort of momentum that it had, that thumping momentum. While giving moments to certainly give way to that explosive kind of droney experimental sound of they're known for. Love that one. Could be a critique on the current political state of the world right now, specifically, in North America, I should say. Here's Stepping on a Rake. I like how mellow, a lot of these tracks feel.
You've seen it all a million times before and done just fine so far.
I like this one.
Nothing has changed.
I'm
still your island when you're washed away.
What a beautiful line. I'm still your island when you're washed away. Providing a great sense of comfort in what seems to be this person he's speaking to throwing in the towel, feeling like they are maybe at the end, at wit's end.
You can be mean.
Oh.
You can be kind. See, it's okay. 'Cause I don't really mind.
This person may be a bit of a punching bag to an
But
extent.
if you're standing at when we first met, I loved you straight away.
This is sweet, but also could be a sourness in this relationship. Perhaps our narrator here is mistreated, but willing to, take it for this initial love he felt. But he sounds tired. I mean, that is Gareth's sort of delivery, though. But feels intentional within this track. Really love this track. Might be my favorite of the three so far. A bit of a joyful release here. What a track. I like that one. It seemed like quite a melancholy track. There is definitely a sense of love within this narrator, but it definitely seems like, there is a bit of a maybe codependency, maybe a bit of a punching bag aspect. He's sort of taking more than he deserves in pursuit of an initial love. Really liked just the gradual, kind of slow nature of it all. It's really nice after, you know, some of the more explosive elements that we got on the other tracks. Here's Teeth March.
Ambulance.
Maybe this will be a female-led track, I should say. I love that, like, kind of broken, kind of disjointed sound that they typically do on their records, and they're doing it here. It feels like everything's sort of just barely holding on.
Hey, come and take your prize and emerald or some gold. You don't need it made up air, you glitter while you float.
This is either Fiona or Erica, but either way, they sound fantastic.
In the air on the coattails that you rode.
Certainly a great contrast to Gareth's, like I said, very tired, broken, Aussie kind of vocal.
You want snake skin, mink tails, and pies of honeycomb. Don't try apologize for anything you stole.
Ooh. Here we are soaring away in this track. I love
Did you forget to check the tempest
the guitar on the left side there. That riff.
for anything
Ready?
you stole?
Wow, beautiful.
Did you forget to check the tempest running pretty low?
Ooh. Things are going down here. We're going south. Very interesting structure, this track. Certainly ever changing, never staying in one place. But we might. Oh! Getting like more layered and continuously growing in its sound here. Love the shimmery kind of vibe to this track. Let's keep it going. That was a great track. Love the kind of shimmery effect of it. Loved hearing the main female vocalist kind of take center stage. A nice contrast, a nice switch up in style. Let's get into the title track here, Fairyland Codex, which is sitting at almost 9 minutes. This is the mammoth of the LP, I guess. Let's get into it. Not sure what to expect. At 9 minutes, probably something pretty heavy, I'm expecting. But we're opening slow here. I feel we got some big drops perhaps on the horizon here.
If I were a betting man, my book he'd say you're screwed. You know I warned you.
Certainly
I'm warning you.
oh,
Your dreams will swallow you.
a heavy sense of contempt.
Third-rate imitations of places you ain't been, and past lives you've invented.
This one's quite gradual, but I like the acoustics. Certainly has a almost like folky sound to it. But keeping that ominous kind of dread of the typical music. Love that rapid finger pluck in there. Oh! Where did that come? Okay. Loving this breakdown there, especially with that acoustic rapid plucking.
All the sunshine, smell of laundry.
And we're just gonna pretend that didn't happen, eh?
Watching a cartoon.
What a switch up.
Castle and yet no one here remembers you. Like flies on a skull. Well, they are flies on a skull.
Love the imagery of hell that was used at the beginning, and now we're talking about flies on a skull. It's a very depressing sort of track. This feels very sluggish. Feels like there's full of contempt as well from Gareth here. And really just like breaking down in this aspect. Oh. Certainly a bit more expected this time around that breakdown. Really well paced, this one, I will say that. Maybe the closest they've gotten to like a post-rock like track. Just with the gradual slow build-ups and the explosive eruptions. I like that track quite a bit. It's gradual. It's explosive. It's got a nice distaste in the lyricism that I'm usually more, impartial to. I do enjoy a little bit of a contempt in the lyricism. The pacing was fantastic. For 9 minutes, I feel like it definitely flew by at a pretty, steady degree. And those finger pluckings, the acoustic leanings of that track definitely felt a little bit more refreshing to their sound. I really enjoyed just how rapid they were too in the breakdown. It was like a explosive kind of rock, folk inspired sound. Here's Dunning-Kruger's Loser Cruiser. What is that? What the heck is that? That is a tongue twister. Dunning-Kruger's Loser Cruiser, Dunning-Kruger's Loser Cruiser, Dunning-Kruger's Loser Cruiser. Well, it's not that much of a tongue twister. I could say it, so let's get into it, though. I'd just be rambling here. I think the coffee's hitting. Private Lies? Private Lives? Private Lives, yeah, Private Life. This is perhaps the roughest track on the record so far. They're getting even more and more rough as this album goes on. Certainly embracing that sound. Oh, getting kind of funky here. The female vocalists definitely add a certain layer of like a fun flair to the mix. It's a refreshing aspect of their band. Playful. Oh, break it down. Oh. Bum bum bum, ba-dum bum bum, ba-dum bum bum, ba-dum bum bum, ba-dum bum bum. Love that deep kind of bassy riff. This is such a catchy banger. Oh my god, what is going on here? That I feel good for no bad reason, I feel bad for no good reason. I love that little just catchy kind of hook. This might be their catchiest track yet. Ooh. Never predictable. I'll say that. I gotta say, like, that is a Tropical Fuckstorm banger, if I've ever heard of one. Wow, that is probably their catchiest, their most fun track I've heard yet, which is saying a lot. I feel like they have some very kind of up-tempo fun tracks in their catalog at this point, but Dunning-Kruger's Loser Cruiser, I mean, even just the title is fun to say. So they pull it off great. We're going to the track 7 here. We're 6 tracks deep. This LP in the background here, which I'm for some reason forgetting, I think it's called, Brain Drops. For some reason, forgot the name of it. Brain Drops, I was just listening to it in preparation for this record, and even though I love that record, I do feel like Fairyland Codex is really up in the ante here. I didn't check out Deep States, the record between this one and Brain Drops. I never got around to it. Definitely should, but Fairyland Codex, oh my god, every track here has been a real treat. And Dunning-Kruger's Loser Cruiser, especially after that lengthy, slower kind of Fairyland Codex track, going into something super, catchy and banger induced, and just purely fun, motivated by a sense of whimsy. What a track! Here's Bloodsport. They're killing it with this LP. Their sound is like continually on this LP getting more and more off kilter with the rhythms. Everything feels super funky and weird. Would you call this a solo? I don't know. God, the electricity off that thing was just flying off into our ears. Got a shock. Oh. We're being ping-ponged around. Quite futuristic here as we close things out. That was an interesting one. Definitely quite sporadic in its structure and sound. I would even argue there was elements of a little bit of like a jazz kind of drumming element in the back half of that track. Super, like I said, off-kilter rhythms that feel like they don't mix or jive at all. And yet, to some degree, it actually works. It actually feels funky and out there. And enjoyable. Maybe my least favorite so far, though, would be Bloodsport. Perhaps. I'm not too sure. But here's Joe Meek Will Inherit the Earth. Another great title, by the way. Oh. This one's got like montage energy, you know? Got like a character who's up to something.
She picks a good time to quit smoke.
Love that deep. Wow. 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 That's a deep bass line. This one's a very hypnotic one. With its just like continual chugging along sound.
Charlie Dickens at home.
I like that that organ there. Bit of a 60s kind of flair to it. I don't know what it is, but the production. Like I said, a little bit kind of jazzy and kind of lounge-esque. I don't know who's on the organ here. I wish I knew. I don't have the credits. It's a pretty new LP of a small band, so we won't really find too much just yet. But whoever is jamming out on this organ, loving what they bring to the table. A solid track, quite jammy in nature, quite hypnotic. Reminds me of something you would hear from the 60s, especially in a kind of psychedelic, jazzy sort of band. Here's Bye Bye Snake Eyes. And right off the bat, we're going to a little bit more of a twangy, western country kind of tone here. I'm digging it. Quite spacey here. A beautiful kind of angelic delivery. And certainly kind of serves the country flair here well. I love these more stripped back moments here. Very twangy sort of song with a. Wish I should have paid more attention to the lyrics here. I feel like the narrative here is one to definitely kind of lean into. I was kind of enjoying the vibe that was brought to the table here. But kind of reminds me of, for some reason, the new Black Country New Road album. Specifically track 2, Horses. I did like the more country sound that was brought to the table here. I just wish, maybe this one's more of a grower, but I wish it hit me, harder. I wish it was more instantaneous in its appeal. But it makes me wonder, I feel like Tropical Fuckstorm could do a solid country LP if they really wanted to lean into a experimental, weird, abrasive country sound. Really embrace the kind of Aussie outback. Would be really interesting. But let's go into the final one here. Moscovium is the name of the last track. To close it out. Another atmospheric kind of heaviness. Very brooding. Oh, quite a dystopian sort of flair to this one. Oh my god. Those guitars. Oh. Love that heavy feedback from the guitars. It's definitely leaning into a noise rock tone here. Just blaring. Not sure how I feel about this track overall. Hold on. So where are we going here? Oh my god, this finisher, this closer. We are falling off. The wheels are flying off the rails here. Wow. Wow. What a closer. I wasn't feeling that track until, oh. I wasn't really feeling that track until we got to that back half, that explosion to really close things out. Super, like a whirlwind, cyclical sound. Just the noise, the feedback amped up to 11. Insane. Loved that final portion there. The track itself, was quite gradual, was a little slow, wasn't doing too much for me, at least right off the bat, but I do feel like that's a track that will probably grow on me. Same with Bye Bye Snake Eyes. I think that's another grower of a track. It doesn't necessarily show the extent of its appeal until you get further into the listenings. Let's talk the whole record here because we closed it out. Fairyland Codex, Tropical Fuckstorm, 10 tracks, 50 minutes. What a ride. Wow, what a ride. I feel fairly safe in saying that this is better than the previous album that I listened to from them, Braindrops. A record that, again, loved this album back when it came out in 2019, listened to it many times. Obviously, I enjoy it. I got the vinyl right there. But I still felt like, of course, there was room for improvement. They weren't creating their opus, their masterpiece yet. I don't even think Fairyland Codex here is necessarily a masterpiece or anything in that regard. But it definitely feels like a much more unique and even more honed in sort of idea of what they're going for. A lot of the tracks here are just fantastic, very funky, very in your face. Some of them are bangers. I mean, Dunning-Kruger's Loser Cruiser is probably my favorite track here. Just super catchy, super upbeat, a great kind of share of vocals. I love the female vocalists as well on the LP. I feel like they offer a really beautiful contrast to the ugliness that is Gareth's voice, which is so at times kind of grating, but in a good way. It fits the sloppiness and the messiness of the atmosphere, the very kind of sludgy tone they go for. I love Stepping on a Rake. It's kind of like some of the more depressing and melancholic tones that we got on Braindrops, but further polished, I would argue. I really liked just the almost like self-hate that comes through there. Maybe this codependent relationship, or this kind of giving your all to somebody who's kind of throwing in the towel or mistreats you. Could be a track about abuse. I'm not sure, but either way, I think Gareth vocally and lyrically shows a very depressing state, but still adds like this slight sense of warmth to it. Goon Show might be a critique on the current state of America, from what I gather, but I could be wrong. But all in all, I mean, Fairyland Codex as well, too. A nice, slow, well-paced track at 9 minutes. Doesn't really meander too much. Lands on those explosive elements. Nothing super negative to say about the LP. I just feel like it is, again, a continuation of their sound, polished even further. It's certainly weird. It's out there. It's unique. And in my opinion, they're a band to watch. They're definitely a band to keep an eye on. Going forward, I will definitely be keeping an eye on them still on the channel. If they ever drop, if they drop more projects down the road, I would plan to cover them, because I feel like they are always on the cusp of greatness and are certainly a cutting edge band worth the listen. And Fairyland Codex, I mean, this was a treat. It was a very fun record, and I feel like, just for right now, it hit just right, just for me. So I'm glad we gave it a listen today. But that does it for today's record. If you liked the video, please hit like and subscribe to listen to more albums alongside myself. And go ahead in the description, check out the Patreon if you'd like. For $5 a month, you will get this video and every other video I've done this year unedited. So if you enjoyed this video and you want to see another album I had covered already, but you want to see the full unedited version, go ahead and check out the Patreon for only $5. You get all my content unedited. But as always, my name is Randy Joe. I appreciate you watching, and I'm signing off.